Welcome back to Broncos and Parts Garage. My name's Chris. If you're new to the channel, please stick around till the end. You'll see additional links for content we've already created and uploaded. Sorry for the background noise. The guys are loading salt in the building behind us. It's kind of loud and annoying, but what are you gonna do? This is part 5 of the Godzilla swap into my OBS 95 Bronco. So far, some of the videos, have been just the tedious stuff, taking the engine out, taking the trans out, taking the fenders off, core support, stuff that you can just kind of do. You don't really need to watch how it's done. This stuff is gonna get a little bit more technical, okay? I have went ahead and ordered the engine mounts from a company called wellsorted.com. If you're considering doing these swaps for a Bronco, especially a second generation Bronco, they've got this stuff well sorted. Sorry, couldn't resist. Anyway, we got the brackets coming from them. They should be here today. A note on those brackets, they mount in the cradle here. So we have to actually remove the engine mounts that are bolted and riveted to the frame. We're gonna show you how to do that. Passenger side unbolts, the driver's side, it's got a bunch of rivets and a few bolts. So we're probably, hopefully you can see this. I'm gonna take a torch and I'm gonna split the top of that driver's side engine mount in half, knock it out of the way. That way we can expose those rivets, and we're gonna get a grinder and then grind them and punch them out. Probably gonna use a grinding wheel. I like using 40 grit flapper discs, but for some reason I can't find any here. So we're gonna use a grinding wheel and a punch. Then we're gonna go and remove the power steering cooler. We're gonna move the brake booster. We're gonna move the hydraulic control unit bracket. I thought we were gonna keep it here, but we're not. And we're gonna remove the heater box. That's gonna be, let's call it the most technical stuff we've done thus far, prepping it to start test fitting the engine. The engine's gonna sit a little further forward, and we are also going to be deciding which transmission to use. Right now I have that 60R140, it's massive. I know there's a smaller 6-speed transmission. I don't want the 10-speed, I don't think. I think it's a 6R80. I'm gonna try to find one of those or trade or do whatever I have to do or order a new one. But I do want an automatic. I'd like to keep my existing manual shifter, four-wheel drive transfer case shift arm in the right spot. So maybe it's a 4R100. I don't know. There are a couple avenues to be able to keep a lot of the factory components. And one of the things I like to keep is my transfer case, because the 1356 is a durable transfer case and it saves me some money. And I won't have to buy an adapter if I can pull that from, I think, a 99 to 2003 transmission out of a F250 or F350. So if I'm saying stuff that's wrong, correct me in the comments. Again, I'm learning too. So today, let's get ready. We're gonna take off the control unit. We're gonna take off the cooler. I told you guys we're gonna put a red head steering pump in here, the brake booster, and the heater box, the air conditioning box. That's gonna be a challenge. So we're gonna do that all in real time. Stick around, let's get some tools, and let's get started. Josh is with me today. Let's get to work. We're gonna start removing these components, starting with the hydraulic control unit. Go ahead, Josh. At first we thought this might be a bracket reinforcing the frame for the steering box, but none of the bolts go through it. So probably gonna have to get the power washer back out and clean this back up. But we got a lot of cleaning to do. We're gonna wire wheel this anyway. So next thing we're gonna do is get this cooling line out of here. Josh has got a line wrench. I'll put links for the tools again. I think that's a Tecton line wrench, or maybe a Sunex, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like Sunex. I'll put links in the video description below. You want to get these out of the way. Again, if you're not swapping out your, if you're not swapping out your pump, you don't really need to do this. We're just getting out of the way to paint and clean. All right, that was easy. Next thing we're gonna do is show you how to remove the brake booster. Now, Josh is gonna go inside. We're not gonna show you us turning the wrenches, but he's gonna get in there and film the I think it's 4 bolts. And we'll tell you what, 4 bolts. We'll tell you what size to get this out. There's 4 bolts and a cotter pin. So hang tight.
All right, so now we're gonna use this 3/8 impact, this needle nose plier, this 14 mil socket with a swivel, and we're gonna get up in here and take out the 4 nuts that hold the brake booster in. Now, when you get down here, what you're gonna see is there's a cotter pin right there, and there's 4 nuts, and that's all you gotta take, and the brake booster with the brake master cylinder comes right off the firewall.
Let's get to it. Okay, Josh has got the 4 bolts removed, and we obviously got rid of this vacuum line when we pulled the motor. So go ahead, Josh, pull that off the firewall.
Carefully.
And we're gonna carefully set that aside. We've tagged the bolts that we took off here, and we're gonna tag the pin. And now it gives us some room to further clean this firewall and seal up what we need to seal up. Next thing we're gonna do is get this heater box off. Let's get to it. Okay, we're gonna be removing the heater box or AC box, whatever you wanna call it. We're removing it all as one piece. There's quite a few bolts on the outside, but on the inside of the truck, near the bottom, there's these 2 small bolts. You see one right there and one right there. Those are the only 2 we could find on the interior. I've done heater cores before, guys, but I've never taken the heater box off. So I'm hoping it's just these 2 and the exterior bolts.
Which there's 4 on the exterior.
Yeah, there's 4 on the outside, according to Josh. Sorry about the flickering light, it's an LED. So we're gonna take these 2 out off camera. Obviously, it looks pretty simple. Then we'll do the other ones on camera outside. Okay, Josh is gonna, what size socket is that, Josh?
Be 11 mil, I believe.
11 mil, we're gonna get these 4 bolts off. And guys, these are really handy. Again, I hate trying to hawk my junk to you guys, but it's a magnetic bowl. It clamps down, and then there's magnets on the inside. I'll put them on, I'll put the link. Oh, let me start that over again. Okay, we're gonna take the bolts out on the outside. Josh, what size are they?
11 mil.
So 11 millimeter, it looks like he's got 3/8 impact, a couple extensions, or you might just use one.
You just need the 2 just for in here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be fine with just 1.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, we're throwing everything in these magnetic trays you see here. They stick to the vehicle in any position, like you see there. And then, of course, they're magnetic to boot, so your bolts don't fall out. And once we get them all here, we take them over and we bag them up and label them. So I'll put a link in the video description for these 2 on Amazon. I've got them all over the shop. They're fantastic. All right, back to Josh. Sing that thing off.
Now these are nuts in here. So let me get over here on this side where this map sensor is. This shows a couple of cleats clipped down this side. We can just kind of leave this be if we need to.
Is that map sensor part of the box, or is it?
It's on the box, so we can really just leave it on there until we pull it all off.
Yeah, we'll probably be taking that off for the swap anyway, I believe.
Yeah. More for this one. All right. So in theory, this should be loose now.
Magnets. Now it is held on with butyl, that rubbery goo that used to hold windshields on in the 90s. So I know we got some prying to do. We're gonna do a little bit off camera to get it loose, and then we'll show you what we come up with. But we're not gonna leave you in the lurch. We'll figure it out. Remember, guys, this channel is known for not snapping our fingers and having stuff done. While I know we time-lapse a few things, we really do try to show as much detail as we can, because this is the first time I'm doing this. And if it's your first time, let's do it together. Okay, we got the heater box taken off. We did miss 1 bolt, or excuse me, a nut. There was 2 nuts on this stud right here for the map sensor.
In front of the map sensor bracket, and one is behind the map sensor bracket that actually holds the HVAC box to the firewall.
Yeah, so don't go crazy. If it's not coming off, it should come off pretty easy. There is no butyl on here like I thought. It's a foam seal.
A lot of the top here on the side, though. This kind of holds it.
Yeah, and the sticky foam. Now, here, watch out, Josh.
Yep.
So what we did is we disconnected this 1 vacuum line on the inside. There is a harness that comes out of this heater box. I'm gonna walk you guys around here. What you'll need to do, and what we have to do still, is, man, that light is so bright. We need to, and I'm sorry about the flickering, it's an LED, the battery must be low. We need to pop this we need to pop this pin out and then take off this kick panel. You can see someone put a repair kit for the dash in here. And you may have to take this Phillips screw out to just get this trim out all the way. So I'm gonna let Josh do this right now.
So here's the wiring harness that we mentioned from under the hood. It comes through your firewall right here, comes down behind this kick panel, and it's this brown connector right here. Now, the best way to take that off is just 2 screwdrivers on the sides, lightly pry at it, and pop it out without breaking the clips.
Go ahead.
I'm trying, it's just fighting me. Come on, what the hell?
Want me to get it?
Yeah, you want to mess with it?
Josh is gonna tap out on this one. I'm gonna tag in and see if I can get it. Those are kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, I heard one break. You didn't break it, did you?
No, it just clipped.
What?
It just re-clipped as well.
All right, let me try. Sometimes those are the squeeze clips. Here, switch with me. This is probably the stuff we should edit out of this video, but we're not going to, right?
Probably not.
Look at the two incompetent morons. Now, here's the thing. The clips, I've got the clips separated, obviously. It's just, there's, 30 years of whatever, sticky and...
Yeah, it just doesn't want to pull down when you have those popped up.
And I am just putting, like, the weight of my body on this clip. I can't believe it's not coming apart. This one's bent back all the way, and the other one, usually when I'm doing these for doors, I'll just demolish them when I'm parting them out.
Now this is what you don't want to do. Yeah, right, guys. This is kind of what we try to show, so you guys can get an idea. But I'm guessing that 90% of the people watching this video have more mechanical expertise than we do. I hope. I can't get that out, Josh. I mean, that thing is stuck. So, what we're gonna do is cut all these wires. No, I'm kidding. Turn the camera off because I'm gonna start swearing. Fair enough.
Hit the button on top. We had a rough time getting that connector done, but with persistence, victory! I'm surprised it didn't dump a bunch of stuff in my face.
Probably not the best idea.
We're gonna set this aside, show them the hole right there. There's a big 3 holes. Now would be a good time maybe to swap out your core support, guys. You don't have to.
Not core support, heater core.
Yeah, heater core. Listen to Josh, don't listen to me. But yeah, we're gonna, we might even swap that out at this time. It's fairly simple. Obviously, it's just sitting in there now. Actually, it was never connected to this heater box anyway, so that makes no sense.
Regardless, it's very easy on these trucks that you ain't got to drop the dash like a lot of newer vehicles.
Yeah, and I made a video. If you search my video, you can find it. Got to pull that stereo cable out of that hole. It's interesting that those aren't plugged. Those should be plugged with those rubber bushings, I think, right?
I think they're open on my truck, but my truck has 500,000 miles. So.
All right, we'll check. So this will help clean this a little bit better, and we can get the firewall looking really nice for the swap. But right now, let's get these engine mounts removed. Okay, guys, we're back. We're gonna take this engine mount off. We were gonna torch it, but I don't have anything to stop the molten metal from dripping down on the differential. And probably that, I guess, the rear, pinion seal, whatever you call that thing down there.
The front pinion seal, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to have another fire in the shop. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just grind this metal. We're gonna grind here, and we're gonna grind all the way down and then back over. So basically, we're gonna cut off the top of this mount so we can get in there, and then grind off the rivets and undo the bolts. So Josh is gonna do that now, and we probably will time lapse that. So have at it, Josh. Okay, so you can see Josh, how many blades you use? Just one blade?
Just one.
Very nice. We cut that off the engine mount, and that was right here. Okay. Now we're gonna go behind here and get those rivets off. You can see those rivets, and we're gonna unbolt it. So we'll start doing it on camera, then we'll turn it off. You guys get the gist of it. Just, you're gonna grind these off. You can use a flapper disc or a hard grinding wheel, however you wanna do it, and then unbolt them over on the frame. There's the grinding wheel we're gonna use. And then again, these just unbolt, so that's fairly simple, but we will put that on camera. So with that, I'm gonna have Josh crawl into this little engine bay, because I'm 6'4", I'm not gonna get stuff myself in there. And he's gonna get grinding. Okay, I've got Josh down the hole. We're gonna use a grinding wheel, but due to the angle, I'm overriding Josh on this one. I'm gonna have him use a flapper disc. Normally I'd use a 40 grit, that's an 80. So we'll probably use about, I'm guessing.
Got 4 rivets here.
Yeah, 4 rivets. I would say we're gonna use 3 of those, but that's cool. All right, have at it, Josh. We're gonna do the rest of this off camera. All right, Josh has all 3 of the rivets oh, not yet.
All 4 rivets.
What's on fire in your knee? Are you on fire?
Yeah, a little bit. I put it out, fellas.
Hey, Josh, Hey Josh, you're on fire.
I'll put it out, we're good.
Here, let me get you some gasoline to put out. All right, ready? I'm filming.
Do my sweatpants, I hardly feel it.
All right, listen. Josh ground down those rivets. It only took him, we only used one flapper disc. It took him less than 5 minutes. So consider that when you get a grinding wheel. Again, I'll put links for the flapper discs. I get mine on Amazon. I'll put links in. Sorry it's so loud. We had to turn on a heater. It's just too cold in here. Josh has got the air hammer and he's gonna knock out those rivets. Have at it, Josh.
Ready?
Yep. All right,
These are in there.
we're in there. So hang tight. No, don't hit it again. Don't hit it again. Give us a few minutes. We're gonna come up with and find a reason why these aren't coming out. Obviously, it's 30 years of being stuffed in that frame. We're gonna take a look at it. We'll be right back. Okay, Josh got the driver's engine mount off. We could not, for the life of me, air hammer. We heated one of the rivets up, right, Josh?
Yep.
We just couldn't.
Real seized in that frame.
They're in this cross member like crazy. We beat on them with a hammer. Finally, we just unbolted it. You guys, I think we had told you two 15mm wrenches.
15 bolts and the nuts are 18s.
Nuts are 18? Okay, 15 and 18. Get the two bolts off, and obviously it'll work on that engine mount as well. This one, we beat on it with a hammer. There's the piece right down there. Oddly enough, this light's going to cause a problem here. The rivets are still in. I don't know if you can see that or not. Am I pointing the right thing? Yeah. Interestingly enough, the rivets are still sticking out. We hit them with a hammer and they started mushrooming. So we're going to grind them flat and we're going to leave them in the frame. So we're going to get to that right now. Okay, before Josh starts, I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of what we're doing here. He's got the driver's side engine mounts off. He's taking off the passenger. That is actually just 4 bolts. There's no rivets.
Thankfully.
Thankfully. Have at it.
Here's 1, 2. Perfect. Oops.
And again, I'll put links in the description for these offset wrenches too. They're really nice, made by Capri. For the record, I did ask him if I could help and do the impact, and he said, no, I'll do it. So don't think that I'm just being a lazy old man. I got this one. That's it. I'll take that. I'll take the engine mount. All right, we've got both the engine mounts off. Don't swipe away. Let us give you the summary of today, and then we'll let you know what we're doing next time on part 6. Let's get to it. All right, we accomplished our mission. We've removed the stuff we were going to remove today. The HCU bracket, the cooling lines, the heater box. We got the engine mounts out. We had a little trouble getting those driver's side engine mount off the cross member. Josh, you got any pointers for anybody?
Those flapper wheels, they work really good. You can be really in control with them. The only thing about them is they like to unevenly wear, so you want to make sure you're real flat against the surface. That's why we ended up cutting the access that we did to it to be able to get to it with the flapper wheel. And another thing is those frame rivets, they've been in these trucks 25, 30 years. Sometimes you're just not going to be able to get them out without a lot of heat and a lot of fight. So in an application like this, we were able to get away without fully knocking them through. Just grinding them flat and making them look pretty.
Yeah, we thought about turning them to liquid and letting them drip out. The problem that is, this is a cross member, guys. I don't know how this metal was heat treated. I know it was stamped 30 years ago and then welded together. I know that when you heat something up, you change the, I don't want to say molecular structure, but I know you change the metallurgy or something with the metal. And we didn't want to deal with that. So when we did heat up one of the rivets, I just used
just a MAP gas torch.
Yeah, I didn't get it glowing red, but we didn't want to change the properties. That this engine's gonna produce 2 times the horsepower, 2 times the torque, and it's all, you know, really focused on that cross member and those 2 engine mounts. So you all set?
Yep.
Yep. With that, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time.